Yo, what up, my people? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon. Yes, 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 yes. It's your boy, and we back in the building. Lord, I don't know why I keep deciding to always eat and then get on these lives, because then I start feeling lazy. You know how that itis is. But it's all good. We're gonna get into some of that good old boxing talk. Oldies but goodies. I hope everybody this afternoon had a safe travel to wherever they was going and wherever they needed to go and wherever they're going now. Hope whatever the weather, wherever y'all at, the weather's cold and not cold, but it's much better than here. It's raining a lot, but it is what it is. But safe travels to y'all out there that's still moving around. Um, I got kind of busy because I had to go out there myself in that weather. And I had something I had to attend to, and I made it to where I was going safe. Shout outs to my boy Calderon. I put him up. You guys make sure he's on my Instagram and the YouTube and all that. You guys make sure you go follow him on Instagram and to help that young brother who's 20 years old, 20 fights. To get his following up, man. Encourage him, man. Sometimes you know we these animals just need that encouragement. So do that. And Coach CJ, y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram and you follow him on his name is different on Facebook, but definitely on Instagram, Coach CJ. So y'all make sure y'all do that. Shout outs to both of them. Shout outs to Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to all the fighters. Uh, I've been I've been really deep into my boxing content. As you can see this week, I went crazy. Probably from Monday till today. Almost two videos every day. Y'all see. I've been moving. But not just with boxing, but also the music industry. Just me getting my feet wet. I got another event that I'm thinking about doing Sunday. A hip hop event. Shout out to the large professor who's doing live at the barbecue. Uh, I believe that's a free event. So that's in the BX. Um, of course, you guys will probably see me. I'm gonna see how I, do with that. But so much stuff. So I've been good. Then we got Josh Taylor, which I'm gonna be getting into Josh Taylor tomorrow morning. Of course, none of y'all are gonna want to hear about Josh Taylor, but really doesn't matter. That's what it's going to be for tomorrow. So we're going to do that. But now we're back to talk about another throwback fighter, the Nigerian Nightmare, Samuel Peter. So let's get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Uh, Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is where it goes down at No Duck Zone podcast. Um, earlier I was mentioning about throwback fighters, how it's very important to teach people the history of boxing, and it's not, when you're teaching history, you're not teaching history by just talking to them about your favorite fighter, or just not so much of that, but just talking about them about today's fighters, and you're not going back into history because it's very important to know that. So, that's why Thursdays, you guys always see me bring it up. For a minute I had fell back, but then I'm like, okay, let me get back into it. The guy we got to talk to today was a guy that was he was built different. When we talk about Nigeria or Africa or any of these fighters who have come from these countries, and before it was a Martin Bacoli, F.A. Jaba, any other heavyweight you can think of. Um, we had Samuel Peter, the Nigerian Nightmare, man. One of my favorite guys to watch. Um, the first time seeing him, he kind of reminded me almost like what King Kong Ortiz was when we looked at him. Luis Ortiz kind of reminded me. Well, even though he was here before. Let me take that back because he was here before King Kong. So if you looked at him and King Kong, they almost kind of moved the same way. Um, I don't exactly remember all the fights I've seen him in, but he had a pretty damn impressive. You know what? We're gonna go to his resume. We're gonna go to his resume. Give me a second, y'all. Of course, you guys know he's a former heavyweight boxer. I mean, you guys all know that. With a record of 38 wins, 9 losses, and 31 knockouts. I mean, Jesus. Um, and he was a beast at it. You know, he was he held the WBC heavyweight title in 2008, which I didn't even know he was still going to until 2008. I overlooked that. That's crazy. And I he was only 6'2" too. You know what I mean? Um, you thought he was taller than that, but I mean, this guy fought just about everybody he needed to. I think the only person he didn't get it on with was probably David Tour. I don't even think he got it on with Lennox or any of them. Don't remember that. Don't remember seeing it. And I would know if it did because I paid attention to him um, long enough to know. We're gonna go look. And his last fight was actually against Klitschko. I remember that. I actually remember that fight. I don't remember watching it live, but just far as me looking at the highlights of it. It just always seems to be a guy that was aggressive and came at you. And he fought another friend that I got on social media, Jeremy Williams. Shout out to Jeremy Williams. I think I remember now that one. I ain't gonna say I think I remember that one. That was devastating, and I believe that happened in the first round, if I'm not mistaken, with him and Jeremy Williams. But Samuel Peters was he was just different, just different. I mean, special in his own way, but Jesus, when I mean he was different, wanted to see him go further. Whatever happened and why he didn't, and it seemed like he did because he said he went up to 2008. But he was different. There was a lot of guys I would have loved to see him in there. Lennox Lewis. Um, I don't think he got Chris Bird. Um, but the opponents that he do have are they noticeable. The people know them. It's not like he fought a bunch of couch potatoes. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to look up something as I'm talking to y'all. I was trying to find some other people. And look and check it. He fought both Klitschko's, man. So both of the brothers. Just in case nobody didn't know that. Um, James Tony. He got it in with James Tony. Yeah, I remember bits and pieces about him and James. I'm gonna go back and glance at that. But he was pretty damn impressive. I think when he got into the Klitschko fight, that was pretty much it for him. Because Klitschko was him and his brother were very two big men before we could even talk about a Tyson Fury and Wilder and all that. These two guys, and being that they were brothers, was like Jesus, you know. Um, this other guy, I'm trying to get this other guy name he was in there with. I remember this guy because he became a Hall of Famer, but the name is not popping up, so I'm having a tough time, y'all. Saying who this guy is. Well, you know what? It's all good. Anyway, I remember saying when I saw him, and I don't know why I was thinking that because it was the wrong time. Because he was already done. Like, I wonder how Tyson would do against him. I wonder how Lennox and or David Tor, and it made sense because I don't remember seeing any of these guys in there with him. So that's why that became a question of what if it would have happened. Bear with me, y'all. I'm a little out of it, but just bear with me, y'all. I'm not gonna be long-winded with this. I'm gonna be very short with this. So I remember, watching Showtime and always catching him, and never knew he was African. I don't think I never really Nigerian. Sure, I never even knew what a Nigerian was. I never um paid attention to any of that. So I didn't know, y'all. No. So, but anyway, I knew it was definitely something different about him that made him stand out from the rest of the guys. And we can sit there and say every fighter is aggressive, every fighter comes forward, they fight orthodox, they do this and do that, but despite all that, he came to hurt you. He came to fight. 9 to 10 might shake your hand after the fight, but he came to fight. And this is why I like always bringing up the old timers, because you would have to be there to understand what it was like to be a boxing fan talking about these kind of throwback fighters. We're gonna be talking about Emmanuel Guster next week, Drunken Master. You know what I mean? Tim Witherspoon, all next week, all next week. So these type of conversations, rather if you be like, yo, what was he ranked and what was this and what was that, and you feel like, well, he's not talking about that, so let's ask him some questions because other than that, he don't know. I just like taking my time when I'm talking about stuff. I'm not rushing to go anywhere, you know. But he had actually became started, I should say, started becoming um one of my favorites. And we can all have a lot of favorites. Some people might just have one. For me, I had a couple, but I know I definitely um I liked the way he was moving in the sport of boxing. It didn't seem like he backed down from anybody. It doesn't seem like he took any shortcuts. Um, it didn't seem like he didn't have a problem fighting people. If you take both of the Klitschko's fight, um, he's kind of swolled up in both of them. If you noticed it, go back to the Klitschko fight with Samuel Peter and just look at the punches he was taking. Doesn't matter if you go to the older brother or the younger brother. If you just look at it, man, like, mm-mm. Can't remember too much that happened in that. If he got stopped or whatever, I'm sure he lost, but I can't remember what exactly happened. But his resume wasn't bad, and like I said, up to 2008, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue because there was a lot of other fighters I was paying attention to too. So because it was so much. If you think about it, right, it was so much heavyweights at the time. For just boxing, let alone, was crazy, but it was just so much going on at the time when you looked around. Um, a few people were on their way out the door. Some didn't leave fast enough. But you got to see different generations of great fighters come and go, and he's definitely one of them. Now you might think about all the rest of the heavyweights, like the ones I named, and you think of Holyfield, who was still around, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to see that for him. Holyfield ended up, uh, Jesus, who did Holyfield ended up fighting that he should have been in there with? I forgot who it was. But it's just no telling what it would have been like. Klitschko brothers. I'm trying to think of Jeremy Williams. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm probably missing. But just those guys that I named, now you go, well, who the hell were they back in their time? They were definitely somebody back in their time. Um, Now I always think, me, I always like to play the game of, you know, hey, what if they're in a, what if they're here? What if they're around today to take on these guys? What would the heavyweight division be like? I always do that every time my man uh D Freeze around. I don't know, CJ Rich. I ain't even got time to try to name that. I don't know what that is. Um, I don't have a clue what that is, brother. I'm trying to stay on what I'm talking about. I don't even know what that is. So yeah. So I think about what the heavyweight division would have been like today with him around. And I'm still trying to go through a list of opponents that he got. I'm having a hard time getting that. I don't know why I can't why is that not coming up? Man, it was some crazy fights in the early 2000s, man. I ain't gonna even lie. Early 2000s, man. From the late 90s to the early 2000s, it was mayhem in boxing, man. I'm just happy to look at a few stuff right now that's coming up. BC, what up? It was a couple of players in the heavyweights. And even a lot of those guys that was back then, like I said today, they would have definitely been some type of issue. Some would definitely pose a threat. Depends on who we are talking about. Some of them would be the boogeyman because nobody would be calling them out. I don't think anybody would be calling Samuel Peter out. If he's in the heavyweight division right now, maybe a Mark Bacoli, maybe. Um, maybe a Daniel Dubois. Maybe. I don't know. Usyk. I know AJ no. Um, Tyson Fury, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of risky. So yeah, I can't I think of anybody just calling him out. But he would definitely be a guy that they will have to find ways to well not find ways, they'll have to definitely keep him active because it's easy for you to just walk away when you just feel like I'm not getting the recognition I should get or I'm not being paid attention to or who really wants to fight me, you know. And it happens, you know what I'm saying? We talk about that a lot. And I'm still trying to get the record of him and not his record, but his list of opponents. I already went down his record. Ain't nothing pop up. Ain't nothing pop up yet, y'all. So I'm just trying to. After a while, I'm just gonna say forget looking at list of opponents. Maybe I should have had that out earlier, where I wouldn't have to go looking for it. Layman Brewster was a bad boy too. The boy has overcome his fears. No one can stop a man who owned his demons. Yeah, the bar is gonna be July 19th is on and popping with the bar. The bar is definitely gonna come and do his thing. I'm rooting for the bar July 19th. I'm definitely rooting for him. But all those guys in the early late 90s, early 2000s, and by the time Samuel Peter came, you had some players who were from the 90s that were still in the game as far as heavyweight. You'll see Lennox Lewis, you'll see David Tor. It was Evander Holyfield, a couple of players from the 90s that you think that were well, probably not David Tor, but as far as all the rest of them, that you thought they would have sat down, we're still hanging in there in the 90s, man. You looked at Evander Holyfield, you like, Jesus Christ, Evander, you've been doing this for how long? When are you going to sit down? And yeah, Evander was one of those that he just you couldn't just leave the sport like that. But Samuel Peter, the Nigerian Nightmare, is exactly what his name is, a nightmare. And when I think about somebody today who probably would have challenged him would be a Mark Bacoli. Martin Piccoli. Martin Piccoli would be the one because Martin Piccoli he doesn't back down from anybody. So Samuel Peters versus that would be crazy to watch. Oh, I already read that. The Nigerian Nightmare versus him. Oh man, can y'all picture that or imagine it? That would be nobody's can't tell me they're not gonna pay for that one. That one would be it would be amazing to see that, man. As I'm sitting here thinking about it now, I'm like, man, they should have placed that in a video game. Somebody might it's okay, I can't get his record his opponents that he fought to come up, so I'm gonna just leave that where it's at, y'all. Because I'm not gonna be on here too long. I think I did enough for today. So I'm just gonna rap a little more. It just, this video too wasn't just to talk about him, but it was just also to, like I said earlier, it's for us to acknowledge and give flowers to those that were here, before us or those that gave us a reason to watch boxing, and we have to make sure we pass that on to people who don't know anything. It's very important. So when I talk this, I am not trying to be perfect with it and break down this and break down that. Oh, you missed this, you missed that. Or what was his record? Who he fought and da 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 and all this. I mean, yo, all that sound real good, but it don't be, it just don't be at the time something for me to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I just enjoy boxing as much as I can and when I can because I get to go back and I get to watch these old footages of these guys. And I'm gonna get more into it where I could talk about what I like what they did in the fight. You know, when Samuel first came around, I probably was I don't know. I don't want to say I was still in high school. Mm, might have been. I can't get the year that he started, but he might have been. But I didn't pay nothing I didn't pay nothing to no attention to him until like the early 2000s, man. That's when I got a good look at him, fighting on Showtime and all that. Black Star Sports TV. What up, Black? Make sure y'all go subscribe to my brother Black Star Sports TV. Yeah, but it was something always unique about him. He looks like he's doing good from what I see when I look him up. Look like he's doing all right. Unless I'm reading something old, the Nigerian Nightmare looks like he's doing okay. Unless somebody knows something I don't know. I want nobody to be like he passed. I didn't see nothing about that. So when I see it, it looks like he's doing pretty damn good for himself. But just imagine, right, today if he had to if AJ had to fight him, if Fury had to fight him, and Wilder had to fight him, and you start going through all these people, whether if you like them or not, and say, look, y'all all sit here in this chair. This guy right here is who y'all need to pay attention to because this is who you might see in somewhere down the line. You know, because I always like comparing the eras, man. I like doing it. I always like saying I like playing the simple game of what if. What if this guy was in this era? What would he do? Where would the Nigerian Nightmare be ranked? Where would he be ranked? Where they don't rank heavyweights, right? Oh no, they don't put the rank. They do rank them. They don't put them in a pound for pound. So where would he be today? And that's when my brother D Free comes in when he always got the answer to that. Me, um, I'll say he would be up there. but it would be a lot. You got Joseph Parker. Um, what's the other guy? Oh Lord, it's Joseph Parker, and I can't even remember the other one. But you got Joseph Parker. You got you have AJ. You have all these different heavyweights, and maybe I can't say Usyk and Daniel Dubois would duck him. But that would be somebody that they would have to see. NYC Vibes, what's up, my bro? Yo, Vibes, what you doing? What you doing Sunday, man? You got to hit my jack, man, or hit me up on the gram. Um, so you got all these guys, and then you got somebody like I said, Martin Piccoli probably would be the guy. Imagine what a Martin Piccoli and Samuel Peter would look like. And you know, he's a big man. Martin Piccoli is a big man. I'm talking about you know, he's the guy who leans on you, and that's something that he would probably try to do, something he would bring to the table if he had to fight Samuel. Um, but of course, you know, we'll never know. But these are questions. These are amazing questions that I just seem to like. I like asking and not assume who would he beat from today's era. No, who would he? Who would you see him in there with? These are the simple questions I ask myself. I don't come up here to try to be no expert. I just have questions where I think about it and I go. So yeah, hold on. Something happened with my phone, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. So yeah, and that's why I like having, you know, that's why I like having these video games, y'all. Because if you had these video games that you could take these guys and put them in a game, you'd be like, you wouldn't have to play the what if game. You could just be like, yo, let me go pick him, and you know, you would do what you do. So that's why when I play this simple game of what if, it is not to throw anybody off, but it is for people to think and go, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes hold on. I have to respond to somebody. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare would definitely be a nightmare. He was a nightmare back then. And his resume was pretty damn impressive, taking on both of the Klitschko's and a lot of opponents. And I think a lot of people, I don't want to say ducked him, but probably could say avoided him. If there was somebody that y'all knew that the Nigerian Nightmare didn't fight, because I sure didn't remember seeing him and David Tour. And I think I'm gonna come back one day and I'm gonna talk about some of the greatest. Um, I think we had this discussion about some of the greatest fights that never happened. Um, we're probably going to talk about some of the greatest heavyweight fights that never happened. That's what we're going to talk about. Some of the greatest heavyweight fights. Matter of fact, that might be a topic tomorrow. Even though my Knicks play tomorrow, we better get it right too. Damn it. I think tomorrow we're gonna maybe come back with that. Some of the greatest heavyweights fights that never happened. because there was a busload of them, and then we're gonna end up bringing Samuel up tomorrow. Tim Witherspoon, Ray Mercer. I believe I don't know if these guys were still around when he was, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We got questions and we're gonna bring up a lot of stuff tomorrow about why a lot of these fights didn't happen. What stopped them at the time, Yeah, but some of the greatest heavyweight fights. Uh, that's why I love doing what I do, y'all. That's why I be like, man, I don't care. I love doing what I do because I just be in my own world. I be in my own world. I know these topics are not gonna get no big views like that. I don't be worrying about that, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do that. But, but yes, just look forward to having a lot more of these conversations. Um, if I can come back and do it every week, I could, but I know there's some fights coming up that we do need to pay attention to. Um, might just hit y'all with a live Saturday too, man. I might just do it. Thinking about it. I'm gonna think hard about that. Might be a little interesting in it. Depends on what it is that I'm coming back to talk about. We gon' we gonna get it going. Oh shit! All right, that's too much going on, y'all. All right, I got it out the way. Yo, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Smash that like button, y'all. Oh, I can't look up nothing now. My phone died. Oh, it don't matter now. But make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, man. I didn't want to come on here rapping too long with y'all. Thought my peoples would have been on here, but everybody must have got busy. But it's okay. Um, we all end up being in our own world, and we all got things, going on. So for me to be on 39 or 40 minutes is not really a big deal. I'm definitely gonna make it more interesting as far as talking about opponents and all that. I'm very familiar with Samuel Peter, but just didn't go through the whole list of who he was or if he won any belts. I didn't get to any of that, but these conversations are gonna get more interesting, y'all. Trust me. Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you, NYC. I was already busy today. I did a live this morning. I went to the gym to record a fighter that I know, and then came back and hearing this, and then I ate. I caught the itis. I'll be tired. Like I tell people, man, your videos don't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be perfect, and that's why a lot of people get upset and don't be want to do this because they think their videos got to be perfect. Absolutely not. It's got to make sense, but they don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing. Speak your mind, speak your piece. Yeah, we getting older. I'm not out here trying to impress no damn body. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for nobody. I work for myself in this. So the thing is, when you speak, when you work for people or something, then you gotta like speak a certain way or like all that extra. I'm not with none of that. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not with all that. I'm stick. I'm doing me and sticking to me, man. I'm not out here trying to be Mr. Perfect. It ain't happening. It's not gonna happen, man. That's the best part. Yeah, we do it for ourselves. That is the best part. So sometimes it's like, okay, what is he? I always break down stuff, not just from the boxing side, but from my side. A lot of people break stuff down from a boxing side. I try to break stuff down from how I looked at it or what I was going through and what this fight meant to me or that era. What was I doing in that era? Because I remember a lot of things that I was doing at that time when Samuel Peter was around and Roy Jones was still undefeated as a light heavyweight and James Toney moved up to heavyweight. Evander Holyfield was still active, probably when he shouldn't have been. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty much it's a lot. But I stay doing my own thing and I'm always do that, man. I'm gonna make these lives. I just want to be trying to make these lives a little more liver. And that's what we gonna do. Practice makes perfect. I've been doing it what 4 years, 5 years. Hey, some people get good at it, but it looks like they've been doing it for 10. God bless them. I'm not rushing. I'm going to continue to do it the way I'm doing it. Not going to switch up on what it is that I'm doing, but I will try to get better at it so people can understand what it is that I'm doing. So and they can subscribe. They have something. They have a valid reason to subscribe because we over here trying to make them understand what it is. Yeah, it feels definitely better when you don't rush it. Be yourself. Speak your mind on these contents. When you speak in boxing, I mean, not just boxing, but just life. Period, man. Everybody wants you to. They want you to sound the way that they want you to sound, and you can't do it. You gotta be you for you and not for somebody else. I say it all the time. If you being you for somebody else, then that's a problem because they're not going to change who they are. So you can't be. You just gotta make the best content you can. It's just that simple, man. You know what I mean? I love it when I do the whole, talk, like I said, talking about the old fighter and what would they do in boxing today if they was around. Like I love that, man, because it gets interesting of what would they do. We did Salvador Sanchez earlier today, and here it is. We came back to do the Nigerian nightmare, Samuel Peter. Yeah. Yeah, vibes. I was trying not to be that way, but so yeah, at times you gotta be. Excuse me. At times you gotta be. At times you gotta be. People will be out here doing the most. I appreciate you. I try to be vibes. I try to make it where okay, let's talk about this because this is going on in the world. There's content creators out here with the boxing. The problem is they all are not bad, but there's some who um they need to work on a lot of what they're doing, just like I'm working on what I'm doing. But a lot of them need to work on what they're doing. All of them are not bad. There's some official channels out there that you can go to. I can give you plenty of channels for you to go to and listen out. And they bad. Some of these channels is woof. Or you can get some real knowledge, and then you just got those where they don't have a clue what the hell they talking about, and they just looking for views. You can tell by when you go to their shows and look at what it is that they talk about. And when you look at the thumbnail, if they got about 25, 30 thumbnails and they all look the same with the same people on it, then you already know what you're getting when you go over there. You know what you're getting when you go over there. For real. You know what you're getting. It wouldn't be no point of you just like, let me go over there and let me see what's different about it today. No, it's gonna be the same shit. Go to my thumbnail and tell me when you see the same shit. I'm not just doing boxing, doing music. Just did Freaky Tie Day. 134 and God Brew. I was just out there. That's what I want to tell you, Vibe. So the large professor is doing, live at the barbecue. It's gonna be out in the Bronx, man. Um, I gotta send you the address, but he's gonna be doing something. Yeah, you know what I mean. And anything that's involving with music industry and everybody knows the music industry and boxing go together. That's why Carissa Shields and Papoose, it makes it perfect because you got rappers that want to be boxers, you know what I mean, and you got boxers that want to be rappers. What's up, underrated? It's perfect. I know it sounds sometimes when it sounds like when I'm talk, I think my channel is like the shit. No, my channel's not. It's not even close to being that. Okay, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's a whole summer coming up. These free concerts coming up, these free shows and all that, man. I'm trying to go up in there with the camera, man, catch everything, man. I'm really trying to get, man. I'm usually not the guy who want to run up in these places and do that, but I'm getting my Instagram and my channel up on a different type of level, man. Yeah, you gotta have it within yourself, man. You can never be afraid to get on here and have these conversations. And you might not have nobody in the comment section. You might not have nobody pull up and talk with you because either some people don't want to talk to you about what you're talking about or they're just not interested in your channel. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're just not going to be everybody's cup of tea, man. It is what it is. The thing is, you know, when you let your mental start messing with you, where you start feeling like you have to start asking yourself certain questions like, am I built to do this? Is this for me? Why the people that I support don't come and support me like that? Because you'll find yourself doing that. This is how life is, not just YouTube, but how life is. Why is it that I find myself supporting more people that support me? You understand? And sometimes I don't want to call it petty, but sometimes you just gonna have to tell people, hell, you ain't supporting me, I ain't support you, and let's do that. I'm already like that right now with family, with whoever. William Old School, what's up, my brother? Oh man, William Old School done got over here. Sheesh. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Can I do this? Oh shit. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. That sucks. Uh no, man, you just start comment. Alright, don't worry, I'll get it. I'll get you William, I gotta get you. I gotta give you a I gotta rent you up. You gotta give me a second. My phone is dead right now. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all stay right there. So he said, but go when you go big, they gonna be like, I knew he would make it. Yeah, they would. It's just like that. In life, you gonna have to learn to be yourself. See, YouTube is not bad. Social media is not bad. It's not social media. It's the people. And it's a lot of us in the world already that feels like we have to do what we have to do to or do anything to be with the get along gang. We gotta go, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to do that. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all you gotta do, baby. Just be yourself. That's all. When more people realize that, it'll work out better for them. Because at least you'll be comfortable with who you are. And at least even if your channel is not popular, my channel's alright. Think everybody walking around complimenting me about my channel. I get a few compliments and that's okay. There's somebody right now saying his shit is trash. And that's okay. But you wouldn't know if it was trash if you wasn't coming and peeking. And that's okay. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. It's all right. What that does is it makes me just work 10 times harder. That's all. I'm gonna be monetized one day. I'll be all right, baby. I'll be all right. What my man Will said, if it wasn't for the community, my channel would have gone like it's. Yeah. If it wasn't for the baby community, my channel wouldn't have grown like it. Yeah. Sometime, William, we need some assistance. He said, facts, at least you get their view. Yeah, sometimes you need some assistance. We all supposed to be here to help each other when it comes to being content creators. You know, we all supposed to be. But the problem is everybody's trying to outshine everybody. People are stepping on each other's toes. You got a bunch of grown men who gets on these panels and they act like a bunch of eighth graders. When I talk my boxing, I don't try to be better than anybody. I might not break it down that good where people want to listen and hear me because my thing is I'm not trying to impress you. I'm voicing my opinion on something, what I think about something, and I leave it at that. Some people they go no, because what if I don't break it down the right way? What if I say this the wrong way? They gonna eat me up in the comment sections. People gonna either unsubscribe to me or they're not gonna subscribe to me. Man, you don't have no time. You're not posted. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not here for nobody's comfortability. When I first started the channel or when I first started getting into talking about boxing, I never said I was here for people's comfortability. You know, when I first started it out, I wanted to create something where people can come over, real fans, and talk boxing and not act like a bunch of freshmen in high school. Sometimes I've sat up here and talked to my damn self. That's okay. Some people feel like they can't do shows unless there's people up on the live with them. It's hard for some people to talk 30 minutes or 45 minutes by themselves. Some people can't do it. The group is the group I was with first wouldn't even help me or teach me how to start a channel. Jay Hardcore is the one who finally helped. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Jay Hardcore, yeah, yeah. Shout out to my guy Jay Hardcore, man. Jay Hardcore is a good dude, man. I'm looking forward to meeting him one day. Jay Hardcore. Shout out to Jay Hardcore, man. Yeah, it's like that, William, where you think the people who are with you or will help you, um, and then you notice that they don't help you. They won't do it. They're so focused on their damn channel, they won't even help you. But then, as soon as you blow up, or as soon as you get a certain guest, now it's, hey, William, send me the link. Send me the link, William. Oh man, I'm not sending you nothing. As soon as you don't send them something, now is you acting funny. No, where was the help when I needed? That's why anybody that come over here know that if I can help you with something, just by telling you to drop your link. You got a link, William? You got a channel, right, William? Drop your link. Yo, vibes. You don't talk boxing, but so what? You still in the media. Drop your link. Y'all drop y'all links. Y'all got YouTube channels. Drop your links. Drop your links. I'm still talking, y'all. So y'all go ahead. I got to get my man William his wrench. So y'all still talk. Yeah, y'all drop y'all links, man. And y'all go subscribe to these brothers, man. My man William and my man NYC Vibes. I got you right now. Yeah, let me get Will. Let me wrench him up, man. Y'all go subscribe to him, man. Don't act like y'all don't see that. Go subscribe to him. And that's another thing. Hey, check it. Another thing. All right, hold on. Let me get my man Will up here, man. Oh shit, what am I doing? Hold on, you fool. What are you doing? Okay, all right. I'm doing too much. See my man William old school, man. Go subscribe to him. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all be over. All right, I got you now. Y'all be over here telling people don't drop your links in the chat. Some people get mad about that. He's you can't. William link says can't be found. It says it can't be found. Hold on. Mm, no, it shouldn't say that. No, it shouldn't say that it can't be found because it's on there. He got 140 subscribers, 19 videos. Oh, you know what that? You know what happened was Vibes. I didn't give him a wrench. He has a wrench now. So check it now. He has a wrench. Go check him now. Go see what's up now. Oh, you must have gave it. That's what it was. You gave him the wrong one. I'm gonna send it to him now. I'm gonna send it to him now. Don't worry about it, William. I got you right now. I'm gonna send it to him, and then Vibes, you tell me. You tell me if you got it. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Good. 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 That's a good thing. We share. We share. You understand what I'm saying? I'm never tell somebody don't come drop their link over here, man. Don't come drop your link over here. I better not catch you dropping your link over here, man. I don't do none of that. Where they do that at? You supposed to have peace on these YouTube streets, man. It's got to be peace at some point on these YouTube streets. It ain't supposed to be no gang banging. You can't have a decent conversation about boxing, basketball, life, music, art, women, whatever it is. I don't know what world you come from. You need to go back to whatever rock you came from out of and crawl right back under it. You too busy trying to sound all proper and all this because you worrying about what somebody gonna think about how you speak or how you break stuff down. It takes a long time to get great at this content creator shit. It takes a minute, man. I don't care how long you feel like you've been doing it. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. This don't happen overnight. Y'all be more trying to impress other people than impress yourself. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You drop your link. Hey, underrated. You another big underrated. You know what it is. You drop your link. Yeah. It took me. Listen, It took me a while to do all that. NYC. It took me a while to do all that. Now I'm mastering certain things. When it was time to put thumbnails on, it's a lot of things I'm still got to learn, but I'm learning, and it's okay though. Don't ever feel like y'all have to rush the process because you see everybody ahead of you. Oh, I gotta hurry up because everybody's ahead of me. Everybody's ahead of me, and I feel like I'm in the back of the line because everybody's ahead of me. I don't give a damn about who's ahead of me. don't give a damn about who's ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, William. No, come on, William. Furious. That's why we ain't seen you in a minute. That's crazy. Well, you know what? I won't act surprised. It be like that. It actually it that's how it is, William. These people out here ain't friends. These people out here do not care about none of us. You got a few people who are your people, who are really your friends, and then you got suckers. Underrated. That's my brother. We talk all the time, even off social media. We talk to each other. Like you got some people who are frenemies. Then you got people who like to shake and fake. Then people can only be around you for what they can get out of you. See, it's not that people don't want you to do good, William. They just don't want you doing better than them. So am I not supposed to go get my own channel? So I'm supposed to stay still? If that's what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to stay still so you can keep your eye on me. You're afraid that I'm gonna get ahead of you, or you afraid that I'm gonna catch up to you? Which one is it? Or you just don't want to see me with nothing? And sometimes people just don't want to see you with nothing, and it's sad. It's sad how you can come up with a channel and you can go to people's channels and support them, but they don't even take a time to even stop and see what's going on in yours. And then the minute you unsubscribe to them, then they're wondering why. You try not to unsubscribe to them because they some real people, and you be really wanna, but it's like no, it don't work like that. I don't ever talk bad about anyone, but don't follow certain people's narrative. They get in there. Yeah, well, we dealing with a bunch of grown girls, man. Some of these guys, William, have became the new women in 2025. They have become the new women, emotional in their feelings, huh? And it's not me. It's just real, man. It's like that. No, I don't even care anymore. Yeah, I stopped caring, Ben. I stopped caring. I don't give a shit no more. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you think about my channel. You can you can say whatever. I really don't care because you're not the reason that I have my channel. You didn't give me my channel. You didn't give me my channel's name. You didn't give me my brand. You didn't create it. All this was God's work. I appreciate my subscribers because it was y'all. I'm able to go on and do what I do, rather if I'm monetized or not, or rather if I'm getting paid or not. It's you guys are the reason why I'm able to get up from Monday to Friday to continue to do this. But if all besides all the other people, like I'm not worried about y'all. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not worried about y'all. I'm not. My thing is, I always say, everybody who got a channel, get your money. Hey, I don't know what your financial reason is or what you're going through. This YouTube might be keeping the lights on in your house, might be keeping food on the table. I don't know what you got going on. Go ahead and get your paper, make your money. I'm not thinking about you. Thinking about you, it takes away from what I could be doing. Now, why would I be doing that? Why would I be doing that? I can't stand him, or I can't. No, man, I'm not worried about y'all. I'm not worried about y'all. I would be a damn fool to. I ain't got time for that. I got a beautiful wife. I have a life. I got a great channel. I got great people. I got good. I mean, life ain't Disney World, but it's great. So when I get on here, rather if I'm having my morning chop ups where I'm talking about life, I might be talking about violence. It's so many different things I can get on here and talk about. That's why my morning chop ups will always be important, which I'm getting ready to bring those back. I just needed to, like I told people, if you don't know, I needed to catch up with my boxing content. Because when I'm putting in for these credentials, I just be needing them to recognize my work. That's all. I started my own channel because I got tired of the clickbaits and lies. I always give my opinion and keep it 100 when I'm wrong. Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something, Will. I started on Facebook. I got a Facebook group right now. My Facebook group is McLean's Promotion on Facebook. I've had that since COVID. And, I started that because some of these Facebook groups were racist. You know, it was just too much talking going on, too much disrespect. Where I felt like, man, I'll hurt one of you dudes in real life, man. And knowing that ain't no point in you going back and forth with somebody who lives 1,000 miles away from you. And then moved to Instagram and started doing my lives. And I could have been on YouTube freaking long time ago if I just would have been focused on what it is that I need to do. Uh-oh. Watch those Ohio players.
What's good, man? I see you sent me the link, man. I
Yo,
was like, what's good?
nah, I always send it anyway, just in case people just, happen to just be like, you know what, let me go over there and kick it. I don't be expecting people to hop on. I'll just send it anyway, just in case people be like, yeah, I ain't never went up there with them. Yo, it's funny that speaking of Ohio, so I was watching this new show they got. Um, I forgot what it's called, but they over where the Cleveland Browns play, right? They
Hmm.
showing behind the scenes of what happens at these games.
Really?
How they be throwing people out and all that. Like them
Hmm.
Cleveland Brown games, yo, them Cleveland games get crazy.
Yes, I've never been to a Browns fan game this year ever, but I want to go. I've never been to a Browns game.
They was showing this one joint with this dude. I don't know. I guess he couldn't make it to the bathroom. The dude, you know how when you walk in where the food and the concession stand is at,
Uh huh.
dude just like stopped by the trash and just whipped it out and peed.
Whoa.
I'm going to eat my dinner. I just got home from work. All right, William, please come back again, and I will be over there at your channel, brother. So you could be expecting me. Yeah, he whipped it out and peed, and I'm like, huh? And they could see, so they're sitting in the back. I didn't realize in the back too. They got the cameras and all that. It's a whole bunch of people in one room. They can see every move you make in that arena and outside that arena. So if you come
Mm.
into the arena and you walking and you drunk and stumbling, they already were ready. A security guard like, yo, you see them down there? Don't let him in. These people come to the game, they be tore up.
Dang.
You know how they get. You know how they get. But I'm like, why spend your money on the ticket and get twisted? Like you supposed to get twisted while you in the game.
Hold
So
on.
that way
What
you
what is
can.
the name of it though? What's the name of? Because that sounds
You
interesting.
know
I would
what?
like to
They
watch
showed
that.
it. They showed it last night, and I swear I wish I would have.
I'm gonna go
Oh
looking for it. I'm gonna find it. I'm
God,
gonna find it. Trust me.
I'm so mad that I didn't get the freaking name because I never saw it before until last night. And I said, okay, let me see what this is about because I'm not into new TV shows because they getting too crazy with these TV shows now. Now they just come up
Hmm.
with anything. But this particular one caught my eye, and like this one dude got into a fight. One white dude, boy, they busted him up so bad, but he was so. I don't know if he was drunk or maybe the beating had him out of his mind, but they're trying to get him and sit him down. They're not looking to arrest him. They just trying to get him and sit him down, and they didn't want him going inside the bathroom bloody like that because they can't have that. They can't have you going in the bathroom so you get bloody. They want to sit him down. He trying to walk into another restaurant. They trying to grab him like whoa. And
Hmm.
then they asked him, did he want to press charges against the other dude? And he didn't want to press no charges. He just wanted to get the hell out of there. But it was funny. This one dude lost his phone, so the game is over. Everybody leaves the arena. He's the only one in. And this dude told me, I'm not leaving until I find my phone. And they're telling him that maybe somebody found the phone and took it to they have a place where they take the phones. And he's still just not he still refused to leave. I want my phone, and he's just talking crazy. I see, well, these people be bugged. I'm
Mm.
gonna get the name for you, Ohio. I'm hoping that maybe by some chance to come on tonight. If it does, I can send you the name. I
Okay.
know it was something with the Cleveland Browns, but I gotta. It was
Oh,
something like, but
I'm eventually. I know I'll find it. It sounds
it's something
interesting.
like behind scenes, but it was something crazy. I was like, yeah, I think I could watch this because I be want to know sometime. like what be going on. You know what I'm saying? That these because I've never been to a football game a day in my life.
Yeah, I've never been to an NFL game. I'm going this year though. I think
You know,
my
that's a lie. I've been to a football game, but it wasn't pro. I've been to a high school, but it's nothing like pro. And even
oh
high
yeah,
school,
yeah, that's
it gets
different.
even
That's
high school
different.
it gets a little high school it gets a little wild because it be rivalries, so fights break out all the time. Um, yeah, I was sitting here, Throwback Thursdays. I always have my Throwback Thursdays. Earlier today we were talking about Salvador Sanchez
Okay.
being free, underrated. We had a great chop up about him and his accomplishments in the short amount of time he's been here. Because he passed away, and he did pretty good in his short amount of in his 7 years he had 46 fights. You don't even get guys that can get that many damn fights.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of these guys they'll give you one good one and all right, y'all. I'll see y'all again next year.
Yeah.
So it's like they fight with these guys. These fighters are like the holidays. You might see them once or twice a year. And that's about it. See you next holiday. So today we're talking about the Nigerian nightmare, Samuel Peter.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
do you remember anything about him, or you never really got to look at him?
no, I know a little bit about Samuel Pillier. He fought James Toney. I think that fight was on pay per view, if I'm
Yeah, yeah, he
mistaken.
fought James. Yeah, he fought James.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of the fights. He had a couple fights, man. He was an entertaining fight. He was an entertaining fighter. I remember I was in high school when they fought. I was actually in high school when Samuel Pearson fought Tony. Uh,
Yeah,
James Tony. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He could crack, man. He was cracking stuff at that time. What?
Oh
But
man.
around that time, I think they fought on Showtime. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was a Showtime
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yep.
He was definitely different. There was something about him that when I saw him, um, he just gave me the feeling of okay, this fight might not last long. So you know what? Let me not get comfortable.
Yeah,
Um, he was good at and he was stocky too. I mean, you know, I don't know what them dudes be eating out in Africa. I swear, them dudes be lifting buildings. I don't know what they do because
yeah, man.
he wasn't. And then I found out he was only 6'2".
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he
So
was bigger than that.
you know what? When you look at it, you think he's like 6'4", 6'5". I read his whole joint. They said he was 6'2", and I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Dang. Yeah, that makes
But he
sense.
was still a big dude, though.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be like 200 and plus, like 200 and some pounds. I don't know.
What
You
was
know,
his
so
last fight? Because I know I
they
know he
said he
was.
fought. They said he fought all the way up into 2008, but I don't remember that.
Dang. Yeah, I thought it was like, bro. I thought it was later. I thought it was around 2010 or 11. So I
But
couldn't.
then you know what? I gotta remember that when he was fighting Klitschko and all of them, this is like 2005, 2006. So I shouldn't be too surprised that he fought in '08 because even with James Toney, I mean, and he was getting a lot of these fights quick though. He was getting
Who?
these guys quick. Like I'm talking about as far as Samuel, like his
Oh yeah.
opponents. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you have to like wait before you can get these type of guys. He was, I mean, I don't think people knew, and I didn't know until now when I just looked at. He fought both of the Klitschko's.
Yep. He
You know
did.
how crazy that is.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one other person I know, if I'm not mistaken, Ohio that fought both of the Klitschko's, and I believe that was Shannon Briggs.
Mm.
So, which is, if I'm not mistaken, I might be, and it's okay if I am. I have to go back and check that. But yeah, and I'm thinking, I said, you know what? I would love to see. There was some guys he didn't fight, right? I
Yeah.
start thinking about uh, I start thinking about David Tour. I start thinking about Lennox Lewis. I start thinking about a couple people now. When we
Raymond
go to
Brewster. I don't think he fought
yeah,
Brewster either.
now he didn't fight Brewster. He didn't. Damn, I can't say him because I don't even think that dude was around at the time. Michael Grant
Cr-
wasn't around at the time. I think he got out of here.
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
don't think
got Chris
he got
Bird.
Chris
Chris.
Bird. No disrespect. I think it would have been a short night for Bird. That's
Yeah,
just
it
my
probably
opinion.
would have. No, no, you probably right. No, you
And I
probably
like
right.
Bird. Don't get me wrong, I like Bird, but he would
Yeah,
have
that
been
was
actually he actually would have been a real bird if he that came out the oven if he would have got him. I started thinking about it, and when I thought about David Tour, I said, "Damn, David Tour and Samuel Peter would have looked nasty,
Oh yeah.
but it would have been great." I
Man,
just
David Tua would have knocked his ass out, bro.
you
Use my
think David would have
language, man.
you think
God.
David would have got him?
Hell yeah, I think they would have got Samuel.
Mm.
Yes. David was would have been by his
Now
side.
you got me curious.
Hey, shoot, we're going to have to get man, that's a nuts. Shoot, do a group a vote or on the page, social media. But I think that's actually a good
Well, I'm actually
topic.
thinking about doing tomorrow some of the greatest heavyweight fights that never happened.
That's good. Oh, I know you're gonna mention Bo and Lewis.
I'm gonna mention that because let's be honest, Ohio, there's some things going on in boxing, but it's too much of the same conversations. We need to fall back for a second and start giving people the history of
Mm-hmm.
boxing, and not the people who know already if they know, but some of the people who don't know. We can't just fill their heads up with what's
I
going on
agree.
today. We
No, I
can't just fill
agree.
their heads up with what's going on today. We need to take it back, and sometimes you got to take it further than that. Sometimes you might have to talk about a Rocky Marciano or Jack Johnson. You might have to take you got to take it, and it's okay because people go, I don't want to talk about them. That's too far back. We have to do it.
Yeah.
At some point, the guys that you love today are going to be gone, and they're going to be history.
Oh,
So in 20
that's
years from now, you're going to go to a kid and tell him about Tank, and he's going to be like, man, I don't give a shit about him.
yeah.
And you're going to be like, what? Are you crazy? You know how good he was? You understand what I'm saying? And these cats got to be reminded of that. This history is necessary, and we need it. And as content creators, we need each other. We need to look out for each other too when it comes to this history. Because there's no reason why we all can't sit down and you might be able to bring something to my attention that I didn't know. I might bring something to your attention that you didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? What's up, Free? The links is in
Yeah.
the links is in y'all DMs. You understand? So these type of conversations are very important. Just talking about Salvador Sanchez meant a lot today to me because I never did my
Mm-hmm.
homework. I never did my homework on him like that. But his name ring bells because I heard some of the dopest people bring him up and
Mm-hmm.
said that he was nothing to play with.
Yeah.
So check your DM, Free. So so Samuel Peter, I thought about him because I was like, you know what? Whatever happened to him? So that's what made me entertain the conversation of bringing him up. Now we're talking about Emmanuel Augustus next week.
Oh,
The drunken
okay.
master, the
Yeah,
drunken
man.
master. Yeah,
That was a bad boy. Actually,
So
Duncan Master.
yeah, so we bringing up him, and then we're gonna bring up Tim Witherspoon.
Okay.
So let me ask you, like, who were some of your favorite guys that got you into watching boxing, where you knew when they were fighting, forget hanging with your homeboys or being with your lady, you like, yo, I gotta sit down because this dude is fighting. I got to watch this.
Well, I'm gonna say Prince Nassim Hamed. That was my guy from out of the
Man,
UK.
that
Prince,
dude was
he
built
was
different.
yeah, he was entertaining. I think one thing that's hard for certain fighters is to be entertaining outside the ring and inside the ring. He did both very well. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
I I remember my brother I used to have my brother sitting watching him, and we would emulate, trying to act like we was Prince, throwing wild shots. You know what I mean? And looping shots how he was. So it was like he was actually fun. But I also, when I was growing up, it was Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. Those guys was the ones that was being shown on the TV on VHS a lot. My dad had recordings, so they was being really pushed. So my dad, he was a big fan of Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. He liked the both of them, so that was religiously in my house. And another one, I don't know if I ever told this story, but Ray Boo Boo Mancini, he's from my hometown. My dad just didn't like him, and that's so crazy, man. I grew up. Uh, I actually used to watch all Ray Boo Boo Mancini fights, but every one that I watched, it was like he lost. So my dad only played his fights of him losing. So I've always thought Ray Boo Boo Mancini coming growing up was just a horrible fighter. They got beat up all the damn time, and then and people around the city were like, "Hey, that's Ray was a bad boy." And I'm like, "How he lose every fight?" No, my dad was my dad was playing all his fights that he lost in the house. So it's a fun. That's a funny story. My dad just never liked Ray Boo Mancini, but it was
Oh,
hilarious, bro. But
damn.
yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, my dad did not like Ray. And all I seen all his losses. But my dad played it religiously, so I was growing up just watching. When my dad had on the TV, we had them old TVs that's on the floor, them wood models. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the VHS on top of it. you know. What I'm saying? So my dad would have those fights, and I remember Ray Boo Mancini fighting Hector Camacho, losing. You know, Bam, Raymond. I think it's Raymond Brand. I don't want to mess his name up, but dang, it was another fighter too. But my dad just played that religiously. But the answer, go back to your question. Yeah, it was definitely Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, and then Prince Nassim. Those were guys that I just got up for, man. When it was time to fight. So
D Free, underrated. What up, man? Justin, you gentlemen are just in time. Of course, you know we on Samuel Peter right now.
How you been boxing a long time, brother?
what's
Yeah,
good, man? What's good?
you know it ain't a show if we ain't got Ohio in the building because you got to remember they do run boxing, so I gotta have him on.
man, that's
Gotta have.
dope hearing people say it from another state. But
I mean,
I
yeah,
gotta
I
have
mean,
him on because
yeah,
listen, you can't have no boxing conversations. It don't have
yeah.
Ohio in it. Can't
Yeah.
do it.
Ohio does run boxing. I mean, you got to support all the boxing, even if it's just the amateurs. You got to support it all.
Yeah,
hmm
let me tell you something. And not to get off topic, but that I always tell Ohio every time I talk to him, that was so bold. Because if I could have thought of some New York run boxing, I would have ran with that, man. I would have ran with it. So for him to do that, and then for people in New York to actually love that, like no New York people are hating, like, yo, I hate that he got that name. Like people in New York, like, yo, we love that dude, man. So it's a beautiful thing that you can be in New York. Like when we took that picture in Harlem, people were
hmm
hitting me like, yo, Ohio came here? Like, where's he gonna be at? I said, yo, he gonna be at the fight. Like they was going crazy. They really want to meet you and chat it up and take a picture with you and all that. So I thought that was dope.
Yeah,
Thought that was
yeah,
dope.
definitely, man.
I thought that it was dope that they wanted to do that. So y'all, Samuel Peter, somebody tell me, because I didn't know he fought all the way up to 2008. I had stopped checking for him after a while. Free. When was the
Yo,
first time you got a glance at Mr. Peter?
it might have been the first Klitschko fight, or it might have been the Jamel McCline fight.
That's who he fought.
Mm,
I couldn't think of the name. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. I was trying to say that earlier and I couldn't get it out.
okay.
Because he fought both the Klitschko's, but he fought Vladimir twice. He fought Vladimir early on, and then he fought Vitali, and then he fought Vladimir again. So I'm not sure if it was the first Vladimir fight or if it was the Jamil McCline fight. Whichever one came first, that was the first time I seen him fight.
Damn, I didn't know he fought him twice. Nasty work.
hmm
That's nasty work. Boy, it's hard enough to fight him one time. To get him two times and then already have the other brother, man, that's a lot. That's a
Yeah, because
lot.
the first time that he fought Vladimir, it was a unanimous decision, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think Vladimir won by unanimous decision, or it might have been split decision. And then he fought Vitali, and he got stopped by Vitali, and then he fought Vladimir and got stopped by Vladimir the second time.
I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie though. Those two dudes were the twin towers of boxing at that time.
which was so crazy because they I appreciate what they did. It's just we wasn't the heavyweight division just wasn't excited though, man. It just really wasn't
Nah,
at that time.
nah, nah.
No,
not
I
to,
mean,
not
no,
to,
they carried for as long as they could, because at the time it was only really those two that people
yep.
was really checking for. Because yeah,
Mhm.
you had Samuel Peters, and you thought he was going to do something, and when he went up against both of the Klitschko's, he really wasn't what we thought he was going to be, because he was a he was Samuel Peters was what's the guy name? What's my guy's name? He was the guy that got stopped by our boy Boom, dude
Boom, boom.
from
Darnell
Canada.
Boom.
What's the dude from
Oh,
Canada?
Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson.
Adonis. He was a heavyweight version of Adonis Stevens. That's what Samuel Peters was to me. That he was a
Damn.
heavyweight version of Adonis Stevens.
Hmm.
Both of them guys was big punch. Now Adonis Stevens was more of a boxer than Samuel was, but they both was real big punches. That's what they were known for, their knockout power. Um, but at that time when Vitali and Vladimir was reigning supreme in the heavyweight, you didn't really have nobody. I mean, we saw uh, we saw Lennox after he fought. I think it was Vitali. After he fought Vitali, he was like, "Nah, I'm done. I'm not fighting him again. I'm done." He knew if it wasn't for the fact that he hit him and cut him, he was going to lose that fight. Lennox Lewis was losing, and it was that cut that saved him. I mean, like,
Yeah.
so those guys was the only two guys that people was really checking for. Like, the heavyweight was dry for a long time until we got the Wilder and not really Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury, um, AJ. You got David Haynes move up, and then you had what's the other guy? Brazil. You had Brazil for a little while. So for a long time, it was dry until those guys came around.
Yeah, Brazil was like Calvin Brock came in and out. Calvin Brock.
Yeah.
Cal, Calvin came in quick, and the next thing you know, you looked around. You like, yo, anybody seen Calvin?
But you're right. But you know one thing I give credit to HBO, they did a great job of promoting those fighters. The little time that they gave us, we didn't, when they was putting on showcasing those fighters, they give a nice little story. And about time we get done watching their story, we feel like we know the whole fighter, and it's like the first time they introducing this to us. So HBO did a great job at that. I miss those days.
I miss the one thing I miss. I think I'm gonna do a live on this too. But the one thing that got me going with them was that damn 24/7, man. That damn 24/7. When you knew it was coming on, I don't care who you were hanging with or where you needed to be. You wanted to sit in your living room or your room and watch that 24/7. That was the best thing they could have came up with.
I
The
mean, my,
best
my,
thing.
my favorite thing from HBO was Boxing After Dark, because Boxing After
Oh,
Dark was their
classic.
version of it was HBO version of Friday Night Fights. So you
Mm-hmm.
like that, you like, I ain't got nothing to watch, and all of a sudden you see Boxing After Dark. I like, oh, bet I get to watch some fights tonight. I get to watch some
Yo,
fights because you
and let me
see.
tell you something. It kept you, because I know for days for me, it kept me in the house, and I'm young watching it when I should have been out kicking it. I'm like, man, look, Roy Jones fighting tonight. Yeah, I'm in the crib. I
See,
could
you
go out
remember
after.
I remember the
You
order like it was yesterday because After that go off, then you have Real Sex come on right after
Yeah, I remember
or
that.
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yo, it used to be crazy. I used to be like, yo, what the heck is this? Like, I
Yeah.
want to see boxing. Like, I'm turning this crap off. I don't know what's
Yeah, no,
it
those
was.
were the
Yeah,
good.
they did a great job, and
Yeah,
I'm
those were good
disappointed.
days, man.
I'm
Good days.
disappointed how I'm just disappointed how all that just went away, man. I'm
Yeah, 'cause like
disappointed.
it's a lot different now because like nowadays I don't even sit down and watch TV like I used to. Like back in the days, you took pride in watching TV. You like, man, I'm gonna go. I just got finished working. I'm gonna go in the house, grab me a brew, and I'm gonna sit down and watch some of my favorite TV shows. Nowadays, you like, man, I just got finished working. I'm gonna go in the house and get on YouTube. You're like you don't even take pride in watching TV no more. Like I can't even tell you the last time I sat down and actually watched TV. Everything I watch is on YouTube, whether
Me
it's
too.
it's a
Me too,
video
man.
I ain't gonna hold
like
you.
live stream.
I look at movies. If I don't look at something with my wife on Tubi or Netflix, a lot of times I'll be on my phone watching shit. She'll be watching one of her TV shows. I'll be like, I don't want to see that dumbass TV show. I'm looking at
Yeah, like
something. You know what I'm saying? I
I
wanna
don't
watch
remember the last time. I think the only time that I actually sit down in front of the TV and watch actual TV if it's a football game or a basketball game on. Other than that, that's the only reason why I got my daggone YouTube TV. My wife was like, "Do we still need to pay this? This is $90." I'm like, "Yeah, I need it because football season coming around. I got to be able to and be able to do all these shows and do my live streams. I got to have my TV." So, but other than
but
that, we
you
don't
know
even
what?
watch TV.
For a lot of us men, and I think I can speak for everybody on here. Underrated, you still there, brother? I think I can speak for all of us when I could say
Still here. Still here.
social media, well, not just social media, but this YouTube, it keeps a lot of us in check, man. Um, we could be out doing whatever, and it just not to say we would, but it keeps us in line because we love doing this, man. I tell people it's raining right now and out here. I'm glad it is because it's quiet outside. It's raining, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, look, I couldn't find nothing else better to do but to do
Yeah,
this, man. I love it.
I'm gonna tell you right now because of YouTube is the reason why I'm be going camping this summer. I'm watching all these daggone camping shows and survivor shows. My grandson like, Papa, can we go camping? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go camping this summer. I'm like, that's because I was watching YouTube. He's sitting here watching me watch YouTube, and that's all I watch. I watch either
Yeah.
survivor shows, camping shows, or I'm watching somebody's live stream about boxing or whatever have you.
Well,
Right,
listen, for
right,
the
right.
last 12 years, none of us on here wouldn't have known each other if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for this.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
definitely. Definitely. It's a
We love
lot of
it.
stuff. It's a lot of great stuff you can watch on YouTube. Now it's so broad, but yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
good
You
stuff.
know what? I got to a point on YouTube and Google where I'd be like, because that's the most I be on YouTube and Google. Everything now is about just trying to Google shit, and everything I Google is involving boxing. Sometimes I'll be want to look up stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you, Ohio. I don't be caring about nothing else that go on in the world. I'll be like, yo, because sometimes stuff in the world be just too negative for me. I see what's going on, but I'll be like, man, I ain't got time for it. Let me go throw on an old fight, which we talking about HBO. I might just throw on one of them old boxing after darks after I get off here and just sit here and watch it. But yeah, man, it changed. I don't know, for a lot of us, it changed our lives because we already came in knowing boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we just some guys that just walked on here. We don't know anything. But yeah, Samuel Peter. You know what? It's funny. Me and Ohio was just talking about it. Let me ask y'all something. You and underrated. What do y'all think a fight with Samuel Peter and David Tour would have looked like?
That would have been a bomb burner.
Yeah.
David Tool was a poor man's poor man's Mike Tyson. I mean, that's what a lot of people say. They said David Tool was a younger version of Mike Tyson, or I don't know. Yeah, he was younger than Mike Tyson, I believe. Might have been older,
Yeah,
but I think he was younger. Yeah,
yeah.
but that was the thing. I think David Tool was going to. I mean, they both was going to throw big punches. Somebody was probably eventually going to end up getting knocked out because um, Samuel Peters, his defense wasn't that great, and David Tool wasn't going to move away. He was going to stand right there in front of you. So somebody was going to eventually end up getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Um, both of them, David Tool and Sam Peter, you know, got they seem to punches the left hand, and so whoever lands first, those ones get knocked out. They was not really like prominent like boxes, like set up for another punch and stuff. They always rely on left hooks, and so the one who I feel the one who land the left hook, those are one. That's the one who get knocked out.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here going through his resume, and I'm like, yo, it's a couple people he didn't fight, and I'm like, why did the fight with him and Tour never happen? That would have been, that would have been some nasty work, but it would have been classic to see it. But he
Yeah,
didn't get a fight with him.
I think when Samuel Peters came along, it was at the end of David Tool's career. He came along in the mid '90s, early
Yeah,
2000s.
I said 2000, and he had it like around 2002, 2003.
He
Okay,
came
yeah.
along. I think David Tool was at the end of his career. Like
Yeah,
David Tool,
yeah.
you got to remember David Tool came in probably the late '80s, early '90s when David Tool came into the game. So by the time
Right,
Samuel Peters
right.
Oh,
came
you know
along,
what? Yeah, I didn't think about that.
yeah, by the time
I
Samuel
didn't
Peters
think
came
about that.
along, all those guys that we watched at heavyweight in the '90s and in the '80s, those guys was on the way out the door.
Now I just thought about this too because I would have. I think he was only fighting 4 rounders, but would you consider like Butterbean like he was a real fighter, but he was like that a Jake Paul type of version because he never really
Yeah,
fought real. Like
yeah.
he never really fought the long rounds. It was just 4 rounders, but he was getting the praise as a real heavyweight.
Did he ever fight Mike Tyson? Because I know they was talking about him fighting Mike Tyson.
No, no.
I know they
Nah,
was they was they was talking about making that fight at one time, Butterbean versus Mike Tyson. But
You
I was
know
like,
how
I don't
crazy,
remember seeing that fight.
you know how crazy that would have been? Mike would have, listen, man, Mike would have, Jesus Christ.
Butterbean was getting hype. He was putting people down though,
But
but
but he did fight somebody. I'm trying to remember. He did fight uh, a named fighter because I remember him getting beat up and like his face was bleeding everywhere, but he was still fighting. He wouldn't stop fighting. I can't remember who it was.
I'll tell you what.
wow.
Yeah, I can't think of he. No, he put a couple people down. Butterbean wasn't nothing to play with. Now, you can make it fun of him being a big fat dude all you want, but yeah, that dude he'll put you down. Now, he did.
He knocked out Dusty Rose in WrestleMania. I think it was
Yo,
Dusty
I was just
Rose.
about to say, like, I said, why they line him up like that, man? I'm
That
talking about
was
not too.
funny.
And you know what's so crazy? He told the story about that too. And he was like, it was supposed to be all entertainment. He said that guy wasn't supposed to knock me out for real. He was like,
Damn.
it was because it's all entertainment. Like
Mm.
when Mike
What
Tyson,
was Butterbean's name? What was his name? Because I know it wasn't Butterbean.
that was his boxing name. I don't know his
What
real
was his
name.
first name?
I believe now you got to do some research now.
Yeah,
Cause
you got me curious now. Because now you got me curious. Because all these years we've been calling him Butterbean.
yeah,
I
he
know
do
that
have
was
a
his
real
boxing
name.
name, but I don't know if they ever said his real name. I don't remember them saying it. You know how they say your name, but then they go AKA. They give you AKA.
Uh-huh.
They just always gave Butterbean. Like I never heard
That's
the
who it was
dude.
that's who it was that he fought. I was like, I know he fought somebody that was known. He fought Larry Holmes. That's what it was. He fought
Oh,
Larry Holmes.
really?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
I did not
I got
know that.
I got it right here. I'm looking at it right here.
No.
Hold up. Look, I'm gonna show
He
y'all the
fought
picture.
Larry Holmes.
Yeah, he fought
Who
Larry Holmes.
fought Larry
I
Holmes?
did not know this.
Butterbean. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show
Yeah,
y'all.
he
Hold on
did.
one
He
second.
did. Right, he did.
Wait a minute. Who is responsible for that?
There you go.
That's some
There you
bull.
go right there. He fought Larry Holmes.
Hey man, somebody find Don.
Wow.
I knew it
Ohio.
was somebody that he fought. I'm like, I saw him fight
Ohio.
somebody that was
Don T's your boy, man. Talk to him and ask him why he allowed that. Did he allow that to happen?
How
Gee.
many rounds did they fight? Because I only remember
I think
he
it was
only
4
fighting
rounds.
4-rounders.
I think it was
that
4
was
rounds.
that was in 2002. That's why I was like, I knew I seen him fight somebody. That was in
No,
2002.
why they do that?
I didn't know that. That's actually I'm gonna actually go back and see that. I do not
Yeah, I'm
remember
gonna
that.
have now he got me curious. So I'm gonna have to go and look at it now. Because I didn't even see that.
No, I didn't either. I don't remember
Because
that.
most of Butterbean's fights was only
Oh,
4 rounds anyway.
His name is Eric Esther.
Well, I see why he said Butterbean.
That's why he went by right. That's why he went by
Butterbean. I see why he went by Butterbean. Never mind.
Hey, it was
You don't.
catchy. He was like us. He was the boxing Stone Cold version. You know what I mean?
I swear he was.
Yeah,
But
he was, man.
you want to
They
piss him
gave
off? You want to piss him off? Just say, "What's up, Esther?"
Yeah, Butterbean was a bad boy. I liked
He
it,
was
though.
though.
I did.
He was one of
I
them
liked
dudes
it.
that I would love to hang with, and if you want to start a fight, yeah, he was the one that'd be like you want to fight?
Yeah, Butterbean.
This
He was
man fought 91 fights in the pros.
Who?
Butterbean?
Yes, he's
What is record?
77, 10, and 4.
Dang.
77, 10, and 4.
Yes. Now a
What
lot,
was
like you said, all of those fights was 4-rounders, but he fought 77
Yo,
guys.
where's Butterbean originally from? Is he
Now
from like the West Virginia area?
the only 10-rounder was Larry Holmes. He got a unanimous decision loss against Larry Holmes.
At least he went the distance. I'm impressed, to be honest.
Yeah.
hold on now, my man record. My man record deeper than what they said it was. Yo, that's crazy. Hey, shouts to you, brother.
He only fought 4-rounders. He got 1 8-rounder fight where he got stopped in the second round, and then early in his career he fought a 6-rounder. He went with the decision and won on points. But yeah, he fought on all 4 round stuff of those 3 fights. All 4 rounders.
But that's so crazy because it's almost similar to a Jake Paul comparison where he has special privileges where he can fight 4-rounders and had that many pro bouts. You know what I mean?
He fought Peter McNeely too. He got stopped in the first round.
Hold on, Peter McNeely stopped him?
Not my man Peter.
He stopped
Oh, I was about to say.
I gotta call my man Peter on that one.
Butterbean stop you. But it's crazy though, because if you think about it, you see how these fighters they want to, they don't even want to they don't want to fight, but you got Butterbean, he fought.
Yeah.
This man Butterbean is 77, 10, and 4 with 57 knockouts, and he's only been knocked out twice himself.
That's crazy. If that man was in the heavyweight division today, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
He should get some type of recognition in the boxing,
He should be a Hall of Fame. I don't care what they say. That's crazy.
The way he was shaped.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
I won't say Hall of Fame, but some type of recognition. I mean, the way he was shaped.
Like honorable mention on Brother Ohio.
There you go. Something honorable like that.
Right. He should.
Because it was just his body, the way he was shaped. It was just like most heavyweights that's shaped like him and built. They don't go far like that, bro. They don't make it that far.
No, this man did everything. This man was a boxer, a kickboxer, an MMA fighter, and a pro wrestler. This man did everything.
Right.
I remember him doing MMA, and I
No,
remember him grabbing somebody and choking the hell out of them. I
no.
can't think who it was.
As
Yeah.
a
He
as
choked
a
the
as
hell
a
out
pro
of him.
boxer, he had 77 wins, 10 losses, 4 draws. As a kickboxer, he had 3 wins, 4 losses. As a martial arts, he had 17 wins and 10 losses. And of course, pro wrestling, they don't count that. So, but yeah, that man that fought every combat sport you can fight. That nigga fought
Right.
MMA, kickboxing, wrestling, and boxing.
And he
That
So
had
man
and
was
he had
making,
right, and he
was
had okay
karate.
record.
he was making his money. He was getting all different type of checks.
Yeah.
He was gonna make that money. That's probably why he living good now. I guarantee he probably living good now. If he took that money and invested into anything, he Gucci.
And plus he was sickly at one time.
Yeah, he's literally he's 10 years older than me. He got a birthday coming on August 3rd. He was born August 3rd, 1966.
I'm gonna look.
And
I wonder what he looks like now.
I'll show you what he looked like right now. I'll show you what he looked like
Yeah,
right now.
I can see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he look like.
because he was sickly at
Don't
one
don't
time.
don't laugh, Clarence. Don't laugh, because I mean you might end up looking
No,
like this if you don't get yourself together.
man, you got
You
to
might
be
end
crazy, man. I'ma stay looking good. You crazy? Crazy?
don't laugh. This what you're gonna look like at 58 years old. You don't get yourself together.
I stay looking good. That's Butterbean now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
Butterbean now at
glowing.
58 years old.
He doesn't look bad. He
At
don't look
58 years
bad.
old. Now I'm just talking about the titties. I'm talking about the titties.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's his. That's him. I don't
Yeah,
look
but
nothing like that.
at
Shit.
58 years old, Butterbean, ex-boxer, he lost more than 200
Mhm.
pounds. Hold up, he lost more than 200 pounds. I gotta read the story because it said a dramatic transformation. So he lost more than 200 pounds. So that man had got real big.
Yeah.
He got real big. He had at one time he was 515 pounds. God
God. Damn.
dang.
Damn.
Damn. That nigga had got up there.
Hey, that man was eating good.
Yeah,
Shit.
but and like I said, he lost more than 200 pounds, so that's what he looked like now at 58 years old. That's hey, shout out to him to lose that 200 plus pounds.
Yeah, that gotta take my hat off to him for that. You know what I'm saying? Some people wouldn't care and they just would have took themselves out of here. So for him to make it through all that, shout outs to
Yeah,
him,
I
man.
mean,
Old
but yeah, that
Butterbean.
man, I didn't even know that man had that many fights. But I did remember him fighting somebody. I was like, I remember seeing him fight somebody that was of note, and it was Larry Holmes. I was like that. I remember seeing him. I just didn't know who it was I saw him against. Because I remember that fight because that man Butterbean was getting beat up. He was bleeding everywhere. His nose was busted. I think he had a cut over his eye. He was getting beat up badly, but he made it all 10 rounds.
Gotta salute him on that. Not too many guys would have made it.
He had that George Foreman guard. He would throw that little crab, that turtle shell up. He throw that little turtle shell up
Yeah.
and would try to throw big punches. Larry Holmes was just weird with them joints. So, just kept hitting him with the jab. I remember seeing Larry Holmes hit him to the body, and it looked like his whole stomach just swallowed Larry Holmes' glove. I was like, God, dog, Larry Holmes is digging to that man's body.
Yeah, it's man, shouts to old Butterbean, man. Somebody can get
Hey,
Butterbean on their lives.
Jeff,
That would be dope.
Jeff Spots put something up there for you, dog. He said 91 push-ups.
Nah,
Uh,
he always puts that. He puts that every time he go live. He always puts that every time. Even when I was on Instagram, he would put that up. That's
and
every
then
time.
he said 91 push-ups a day for 30 days for the month of May. Well, we at the end of May, so we might as well
Yeah.
move on to June.
Yeah,
We move over to June.
we at the end of May. Yeah, it's crazy, but
I give myself a break from May, and I get started in June. I get started in June. I do it in June.
yeah, just start off fresh in June. And May is already it's over. It's already the 22nd. It's quiet. It is quiet for it, man. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, yo, you know what I said? I said, imagine what a fight with Martin Piccoli and Samuel Peter would have been like.
Mm. Which one could take which one? Power shot.
Damn it, that fight's
See
nasty.
the thing that I remember about Samuel Peters, another thing that I remember about him, like I said, he was a big puncher, but for his size, he had on TV. It looked like he had some long arms for his size.
Yes,
It
he
looked like he
did.
had long arms. I don't know.
Yeah, he
I
did.
got to see what was his arm reach. I'm gonna look up what his arm reach was because it looked
Because
like he had long arms.
they said he was 6'2", and I thought he was taller than that. I read something. It said his height was 6'2". I thought he was taller. I thought he was at least like 6'3", 6'5".
The Nigerian Nightmare. They said he is 6'2". Yeah, that's what I thought. 6'2" with a 77-inch arm reach. He had some long arms for his
Yeah,
size.
that's a damn shame for somebody 6'2". That's a damn shame. That man could slap
Because
you from across
I
the
look
street.
at like Jamel Charlo and Jamal Charlo. They like 6'1", 6'2", and their arms I don't think is that long. They like
Yeah,
6'1", 6'2".
yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's Samuel was yeah, he was that dude, man. He was
like
that dude. I mean,
Jamal Charlo, they got Jamal Charlo at 6'1" with a 73-inch arm reach.
that's a
And
damn shame too.
Jamel, they got Jamel at 6 foot with a 73-inch arm reach. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, let me see what David Benavidez's arm reach is because
it's like oh
he's
Lord.
like 6'2".
Yeah, David's tall. His arms look crazy. He probably like at 80 something maybe.
I don't know. I mean, he around the same height as Samuel Peter. Let me see. The Mexican monster. He
Yes,
is 6'2". Nope. He's 6'2" with a 74-inch arm reach. Samuel Peter's arm longer than his too. That's what I
oh
said.
damn.
His arms look incredibly long for his size.
Yeah,
He
that's
got longer
crazy.
arms than David Benavidez, and he's the same height as David Benavidez.
Sheesh.
Like,
Well,
yeah, and you know what? I do remember that because I was looking at David Morrell. David Morrell had a longer arm reach than David Benavidez. I think David Morrell had a 76 or 78-inch arm reach. Yeah,
oh
David Morrell was like 76 or 70, 78, somewhere around there. Because I remember looking at both of their tail of the tape, and I was like, dang, David Morrell got a nice little arm reach advantage.
yeah, you would think that, yeah, sometimes these dudes be so tall, they arms be like you know what I mean? They be 6'2" with long arms with a guy that should have been 6'5" or 6'6". It happens sometime like that. It works better for them in their favor, especially being in boxing. It's because the jab is the number one thing that you gotta use. So it'd be dope to see all that. Underrated, what up? I know free y'all about to go on 8:05. I'm just waiting at 8 o'clock. We gonna shut it down. Um, I'm mad at my team though. My team pissed me off yesterday, free. They gotta go tomorrow, man. They play like that shit tomorrow. It's over. We gotta go. We
Yeah,
gotta do something.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
underrated.
it's no. He dropped off. Him and Marcus dropped off. But
Okay.
yeah, but Samuel Peters, he was one of those guys that we thought was going to end up dethroning one of the Klitschko's, but he never came around to do it. They were just a little bit too much for him. Like that arm reach that they had and the power that they had was just a little bit too much. Like I said, he got a chance to go the distance with Vladimir the first time, but when he got the Vlatali, he got stopped. And then he went to Vladimir the second time and he got stopped. So his best chance was the first time that he fought him. But after that, they were like, nah, we're going to get this dude up out of here. We're not even going to play around with him.
Yes, that's kind of sad that it had to happen, but at least he had the kahunas to fight both of them, and that was a great thing about it. Um, he didn't duck no smoke. He didn't make no excuses. He fought both of them, and it didn't matter what the outcome was. He still wanted to fight again. So I give him that, man. I give him that. But some of the other heavyweights out there, like Lennox Lewis or Chris Bird, I'm just curious to see what it'd have been like. Hasim Rockman, you know,
I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see Rockman versus Samuel Peter.
that would have been crazy, bro.
Yeah, I would have
That
loved
would have
to
been
like Rockman.
crazy.
Rockman really didn't do too much after he fought Lennox Lewis. Like I didn't even know who Rockman was prior to him fighting Lennox Lewis, and then after he
Yeah, I
fought
don't
Lennox
either.
Lewis, I didn't really hear too much from him after that. I mean, I saw him fight a
Yeah,
couple of more times, but it was never on that big stage again. It was just that one
I
time,
think
and that
after
was
he
it.
got, I think this was after Lennox, when he got knocked out the ring. Like he got knocked out real bad out the ring.
Yeah,
Oh
that was after
man,
Lennox Lewis. That was after Lennox Lewis. I remember that. I saw that fight.
they start fighting in the crowd. I said, "Yo, what happened?" His people's done started. Look, as soon as that happened, chairs was. I remember Steve Smoger got hit in the back of the head with the chair. I said, "Yo, come on, man, don't do
No,
this."
I said it last time though. I swear, if I was a pro fighter and I got knocked out of the ring, though, I'm not even going to get back in the ring. I'm just gonna go walk right to my locker room. I'm not going to get back in the ring. I'm just going straight to the locker room. They're like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Dog, this nigga knocked me out the ring, dog. I'm not going back in there."
He
Hey,
said,
well, you gotta go back in the ring. No, I do not. The fight is
"Why
over.
do we do
He
that?
knocked me out
This
the ring.
ain't
The fight is over.
this ain't wrestling. If you gonna count, motherfucker, count. Shit, this ain't wrestling."
No, you get knocked out of the ring. Fight is automatically over. You lost. You got knocked out the ring. You lost. It's over.
I mean,
I'm not.
unless
I'm
I'm
not going
hurt
back
that
in the
bad,
ring.
unless I'm hurt that bad where I can't get up or I can't move. But if I can get up and move, I'm out. I'm going to the dressing room. What you gonna tell me? You got to cut your gloves off. You better cut these shits off in the back. Cause I'm
No,
going to the back.
no.
You
The
more than
gloves is
welcome to
gonna
walk
still
with
be on
me.
my head when y'all come to the locker room. Who gonna take them off? I can't take them off. They're gonna still be on my head when
No,
y'all
he
get to
gonna
the
take.
locker room.
He trying to go back to the back. What he trying to hide? I ain't trying to hide shit.
I'm trying
I
to
can't
hide
take
my
the
face
back.
from the embarrassment of getting knocked out of the goddamn ring. That's what I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to hide my
Oh
face.
no, man!
You
Come
see how
on
many people
now.
was in the crowd? They just watched me get knocked out of the ring. I am not sitting over there. Now you
Let me
want me to
tell
come
you,
back in it just for you to
he
announce
fought.
that he won. We already know he won.
Yeah, we already know he won. We clearly saw that. But when he knocked Hasim Bachman through them ropes, I said, God damn. I'm like, come on,
That got that got to be the
Hasim.
most humiliating defeat, getting knocked out of the ring. And I've seen multiple people get knocked out of the ring, and that got to
Oh,
be humiliating.
when Lennox Lewis beat him in that second fight, that wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? At least he was able, but you know what I mean? Stumbled a little bit. When you get knocked out the ring between the ropes, not even just knocked out, he went between the ropes.
Like, yeah. Like when I forgot who the dude that C Wood fought, but C Wood, I said C Wood, Liam Wood. Was it Liam Wood? I think it's Liam Wood. The UK guy, a guy that always seemed to get a title fight or whatever have you. He the version of Vitali. I mean, not Fatali, of Loma. He's their version of Loma. But he fought some dude. The dude was whooping his ass, and Wood knocked him out of that damn ring, and he went straight. Like, normally when you have the ring, you have the judges table right there at the ring, and then you have
Yeah,
the judges sitting in a chair, and then it's the crowd behind them. They didn't have that. They
yeah,
had the judges table move back, so like it was a space between the judges table, like probably about a 3 foot space between the judges table and the ring. So when he went out the ring, he went straight head first to the concrete. I was like, dang. They took him out on the stretcher. He ain't even get a chance to walk back to the ring. They took him out on the stretcher. He was in a hospital talking about, I'm okay. I'm like, no the hell you not, nigga. You got knocked out of the ring and landed on your head on a concrete.
yo, I ain't mess with you, free. You about to go over there with BBO, right?
Oh, we're going on at 9 o'clock. He just said we're going on at 9.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I don't
see.
even know what the topic is about tonight, but we're supposed to be going on at 9.
Oh Lord, usually it feels good when you know the topic. Oh Lord,
Yeah, usually he'll put a thumbnail up so I know what the topic is, but I don't even know. Matter of fact, let me look and see if he put anything up to see what the topic is about tonight. Because I know
yeah.
yesterday we had Ivan up there, we had Coach Mike and Joe. All of them work with Ivan. We had I didn't even know the first interview that we did was Leasia, and that was Mike's daughter. I didn't know that until BVO said it in the live stream yesterday. I didn't know that was his daughter. That was the first
Oh
interview that
wow,
we ever did. Yeah. So Leasia was the very first interview that we ever did.
whose daughter?
Mike, Coach Mike McCline, I think his name is Mike McCline.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, that was the first interview we did was her. He said she's about to go pro. They're trying to now he don't have the thumbnail up. They're trying to figure out what weight is good for her because he don't want her fighting at a extremely big weight, um fighting against a bunch of bigger people. But yeah, I think she gonna do all right. I think she's gonna do all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what people be saying. They be saying, man, Jamal look out of it. I saw the interviews that he did. Don't nothing look wrong with him. I don't know what people be seeing.
No, I stopped listening to people because people just see people just. I just said it the other day when I talked about them. People just be running their mouth, bruh. That's why I was just telling William Old School when he was over here. I just be like, I just said, people just be running their mouth, bruh. They find any little thing, and it's always it's always us going against our kind. If you look at
Not,
Devin, if you like, if you look at Tank Ryan, I mean not Ryan, but if you look at Tank Devin and Score, if they see something wrong with them for one day, they got something to say. It's like Jesus Christ.
no, I
I
was
just
like,
ignore
no,
it.
y'all say he looked out of it. I mean, maybe the dude was at a gym or something, but I don't see nothing that looks wrong with him. I just see a guy that look like he just got finished training or whatever.
How he
He
looks
don't
is
look
how he looks. When
no.
it's time for him to perform, then I'll worry about judging him on some. But other than that, I don't care what he look like in the interview or what he look like in gym. Ain't no telling what the dude going through. But these fools will look for any reason just to have something to talk about. They make me sick, man. These dudes is a bunch of gossiping
I was
ass
like, dog,
kids.
I'm glad none of y'all police officers because y'all be getting sued like hell. So,
I
oh, he
swear.
looked like he was drunk. Nigga, do you know
So
what a person look like when they look drunk? Because you obviously don't. Like the man
that's
ain't slurring over his words. He ain't walking, so you can't see that he off balance.
listen.
Y'all
They
talking about
they
his
make
eyes and all that. He
They
look.
make,
I'm like,
they
dog.
make me sick because they just talk about anything. That's why I was just telling my man, I ignore these dudes, and this is why I don't be having no conversations or be in these
I'm
dudes'
I'm
space.
literally looking at an interview that he's doing right now. and this is one of his latest interviews that he was talking about his performance against Jose Benavidez, and he looked perfectly fine. He looked like the regular Jamal from back in the days. He looked perfectly fine in this interview. Don't nothing look off by him. He looked perfectly fine. I don't know what people see.
No, I don't listen. I don't even, like I said, man. I don't pay attention to what they be talking about, man. I really don't. I don't even really be caring what these dudes be talking about because I'm tired of them. Because they be running their mouth just to run their mouth. I ignore them, man. You know what I'm saying? That man got a fight coming next week. And I'm sure he's ready. You know what I mean? And I'll be tuning in to watch it, but I don't care about what these dudes talking about because they aggravating.
Yeah.
Just run their mouth.
Well,
Run their
hey,
mouth.
we can get up out of here.
Yeah, let me get up out of here too, man, because I've been on it my 2 hours and 6 minutes, so I can get off now. Catch you later, though. Catch you tomorrow. No, matter of fact, I'll be over there tonight to see y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Peace.